Hello and welcome back to Nobody on the Rest of and to another edition of AEW Dynamite. This show featured 6 matches and multiple segments, as well as a huge announcement and a huge debut which kicked off Dynamite. So yeah, it was a very chaotic episode of Dynamite. And let's get straight into it with that debut that I mentioned. And Ricky Starks came out for his match against Juice Robinson, but suddenly the Bullet Club music played and he got ambushed by Robinson and the debuting Jay White. The Absolute got back and unloaded on White, but Juice Robinson took him down with a spinning kick. Jay White then hit the Bail Runner on Ricky Starks as the heel celebrated to win the opening segment of the show. And yeah, very shocking to see Jay White appear so soon after it seemed like he wasn't going to WWE, because I thought he would go there, because otherwise it would make sense for his NJPW just to leave there. But yeah, I mean, so pleased to see him in AEW. Kind of did make sense, and I can't wait to see what he's going to do there. Interesting first story to drop him and definitely have more heat to it, but can't wait to see what he does. But anyway, the first match of the night was House of Black vs Orange Cassidy, the best friends for the Trios title. Malachi and Trent started the match respectively for their teams. Beretta applied a side headlock in the early stages before Black rolled him up for a 2 count. After an initial back and forth, Brody and Chuck were tagged in. Orange Cassidy and Buddy Matthews when tagged in and freshly squeezed, got dropped on the turnbuckles. A brawl ensued among all 6 men, and House of Black emerged on top after that exchange. Beretta was isolated in the champ's corner during that stage. Beretta then hit an Enscuri and tagged in Cassidy. He used the speed to outsmart the House of Black and took them out with a dive assisted by the best friends. The challengers got a 2 shortly after. The chaos ensued once again as Malachi Black took out Trent with a brainbuster. After a back and forth between the two teams, Beretta hit a pile driver on Brody King. Towards the end, Buddy Matthews and Chuck Taylor were legal men, and both hit the stomp to help the House of Black retain their titles. And yeah, this gets an 8 out of 10 for me. Simply incredible match, this. I don't think it's ever matched out, but you know, both teams are just so hot, so over at the moment. It just creates an incredible match. Fans are into it as well. So yeah, it gets an 8 out of 10 for me. This was really great. Next up, it was Jamie Hayter versus Riho for the AEW Women's title. Hayter looked to hit the Hayter raid early on, but Riho rolled her up for a 2. After exchanging pinfall attempts, Hayter overpowered the Japanese star, but she hit a drop kick. The former champion then hit a dive to the outside to get the advantage. Hayter then crowded the crossbody attempt and hit a gutbuster for a 2 before the 2 stars busted on the apron, and Riho got spiked for the hardest part of the square circle. And the champion got a 2 count shortly after. Riho recovered and unloaded with shots, but Jamie took her down with a slam. Hayter then got another 2 after hitting a slam. Riho got Hurricane Rana and then followed out with a 619. She then hit a diving crossbody for a 2. Riho continued her momentum with a couple of suplexes for a 2. Hayter made her come back with Vicious Lariat for a 2 and then hit a suplex, but Riho countered with DDT after a brief exchange on the top rope. Riho then hit exchange of Hurricane Rana and followed up with a double knee strike for a 2. Towards the end, Hayter hit a couple of Hayter raids to retain her title on Dynamite. And yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. On the whole, a really good match. Hayter retaining, but yeah, like I said, it's always going to be a good match. Like the previous match, don't think it was matched out. Maybe match quality wasn't as good, so I'll go with 7 out of 10, but you know, this is still really good. Next up on Dynamite, Jericho Appreciation Society came out and told the Acclaimed to let them know if they are joining Chris Jericho's faction. Max Caster and Anthony Bones said they're not interested. Menard then added they have a match on Rampage before the Acclaimed did the scissor impose with Billy Gunn to end the segment, and hopefully that writes forward with that kind of story. I'm not sure there's too much to it, but you know, I guess we'll see where it goes. But anyway, MJF came down to the ring and heat praise on Long Island and sang on the ramp before entering the ring and introducing Joseph Saldino. Thus it got drowned with booze, but MJF told the fans to stop. He said he was key to the city given to MJF was too small and that a much bigger one was made. The Devil thanked him and started to berate his fellow peers. He brought up his past teammates and then moved to dreaming about becoming a pro wrestler. MJF then went back up the ramp and asked the crowd if they wanted to hear an encore. One of the persons in the band prematurely played a cymbal, and it turned out to be Jack Perry. Perry and MJF on the ramp before Sammy Guevara came out, lifted the AEW World Championship and then entered in the ring for his match with Commander. Yeah, nice little route here, but you know, brilliant promo from MJF. And yeah, Jack Perry kind of coming out. In a way, it wasn't surprising. In a way, you know, it kind of makes sense as well. Just a fun little segment before we went into the match. And Guevara slid out the ring before he hit a springboard moonsault. He then went for a high-flying move, but Commander stopped him for a kick. He then hit a shooting star press for a 2. Guevara countered Commander's move and celebrated the middle of the ring. A JS member stunned his opponent on the barricade before hitting a stomp inside the ring. He then got a pinfall attempt with his Commander's chest. Guevara was in complete control during this stage, and Commander walked back into the ring with a Hurricane Rana. He walked onto the ropes and hit a dive on Guevara. After a back and forth, the Spanish God looked to hit the GTH, but Commander rolled him up for a 2. Towards the end, Commander then went for a move on the ropes, but Sammy Guevara took him down with a cutter and hit his GTH finisher to pick up the victory. And yeah, this gets another 7 out of 10 from me. Really good match. And he took shots at MJF and said that he lied and cheated his way to the top, and then added that he worked hard and vowed to become champion next week. And yeah, I mean, Guevara babyface, maybe. But yeah, Commander compared to his match, was it last week or whenever it was, maybe wasn't quite as good as that, but still very, very good. And yeah, great to see Guevara in a good match. And yeah, kind of a weird promo from him after, but we'll let it slide. Get 7 out of 10 from me. Hook was then in action against Ethan Page with the FTW Championship online. He went for a strike early on, but Hook retaliated with a T-bone suplex. Page then rolled out of the ring and took advantage of the bout and slamming the champion onto the steel sets and the barricades. Back in the ring, All Ego went for the Twist of Fate, but Hook responded with a Twist of Fate of his own. Towards the end, Matt Hardy and Page tussled with the FTW Championship before the Legends took the third member out with the title. Hook then applied the Red Bronze submission to retain his title. And yeah, bit weird, still teasing dissension in there. That's kind of the point of this. And yeah, in a way, I guess it kind of made sense. So yeah, it gets 6 out of 10 from me. But yeah, kind of just waiting for Hook's major storyline, I guess. And yeah, this Page Matt Hardy stuff is slowly but surely paying out, that's for sure. But anyway, next up, the Blackpool Combat Club were involved in a trios match against basically a bunch of jobbers. And yeah, they managed to get the quick victory. Following the match, Bryan Danielson said that Blackpool Combat Club embodies true pro wrestlers before cowling everyone else in the locker room matches. Hangman Page came out to the ring on his own and got attacked by the 4 members of the BCC. Danielson hit the Cowboy with a screwdriver in his face to end the segment. And yeah, I mean, Hangman's pretty much for going out and trying to fight them on his own. But you know, that's what Hangman does. But yeah, this was really great. Just a squash match, but the post-match stuff was really good. Made Hangman look really tough and strong. And yeah, the BCC look like absolute killers at the moment. Great promo from Danielson. So yeah, enjoying what everyone's doing here. So it gets 7 out of 10 from me. The Guns then take on FTR for the tag titles in our main event. Cash Wheeler and Colton Guns started the match respectively. After a back and forth, the 2 stars, Wheeler got the upper hand and he exchanged tags in Dax Harwood. FTR then exchanged quick tags early on to keep the momentum, and a slight distraction from Austin Gunn allowed Colton to get the advantage for the champions. The Gun got a 2 count after hitting double team move. Cash Wheeler then looked to make the tag to Dax Harwood but was stopped by the champions. Wheeler was thrown out of the ring and the Guns were in complete control of the match at this stage. Colton Gunn wore down Cash before the latter retaliated with a kick. He then hit an Inscary but failed to tag Harwood. Wheeler then eventually tagged in Dax, who unloaded with a flurry of offense on the chance. He took down Colton with a lariat before running up Austin for a 2 count. FTR hit a DDT on Colton Gunn before taking their focus towards Austin. They then hit a spike pile driver for a close 2. After a back and forth, FTR hit the big rig, but Colton dragged the referee out of the ring before the 3 count. Towards the end, both teams exchanged a series of pinfall attempts before Austin hit a low blow on Dax Harwood. The referee next called for the DQ, but Cash Wheeler stopped him. He got taken down by the Guns 3-10 to Yuma. After several shenanigans, FTR managed to get the victory with both Harwood and Wheeler getting the roll-up pins on the Guns. And yeah, this gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Really good match. Really good storytelling as well, and with FTR desperate for them not to call for the DQ. And yeah, so happy FTR is staying. I think it's the best thing for them. So yeah, delighted about that, and gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Great stuff. Overall, AEW Dynamite gets a 8 out of 10 from me. Yeah, this was a really, really good Dynamite, I have to say. That incredible announcement about Wembley, still can't believe it. If they sell out that, then wow. But yeah, on the show alone, some incredible matches. FTR new chance, everyone's happy to see that. And yeah, just quality matches throughout the show. Great storytelling. So yeah, brilliant episode of Dynamite this week. But anyway, guys, that's it for you. Thanks very much for watching. To like, share, subscribe, follow us down below, follow us for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to the channel, it's greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.